got that. Cause you 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 got that. Like you, cause you got that. Something that I need in my life, so give it to me. Cause you got that. Like you, cause you got that. Something that I need in my life, that I need, so cause you got that. Like you, cause you got that. Something that I need in my life, so give it to me. Cause you got that. Like you, cause you got that. Something that I need in my life, that I need, so cause you got that. Like, cause you got that.
All right, welcome back everybody for week 3 here at Watkins Glen, and I have Jay returning to the booth with me. Welcome back, Jay.
I'm back.
You are. I think appreciate David and Scott Taylor for Macedo and Scott Taylor for stepping in last week while you were gone. You had left some big shoes to fill. So appreciate them stepping up to the plate, and good to have you back though.
Well, thank you very much.
And hopefully come back for an exciting race. We got Watkins Glen this week. What's your thoughts on Watkins, Jay?
It is an race.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I haven't really driven Watkins that much. It's a fun track. Can't say I'm the best at it, but I mean it's generally pretty good for racing. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's, we were a couple of the guys from the league where we were talking, practicing, and we were saying, Brands obviously is a death trap, and we were kind of saying, okay, well, we're at Watkins now. This should be a safer race. We shouldn't have quite as much issues. And then we're like, well, there's the bus stop. We're like, okay, well, then there is that uphill right, and I kind of started going, well, that's not too bad. That sweeping kind of tight turning uphill right, and they're like, have you seen people? We keep getting cars spun out in practice here. So I was like, okay, I guess that is kind of dangerous. So we've definitely haven't escaped all danger leaving Brands and coming here, but I expect that it should be a lot easier to have some side-by-side racing here at least.
Yeah, Watkins. That what is it? Turn 3 and 4 going up the hill. That's where I think that's where the fences are the closest together on this track. So if anything happens toward the top of that hill, it just turns into a traffic jam.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, let's hope. Let us hope.
All right. Well, I have up on the screen the standings. This is for the season where the one asterisk in this is the screenshots from this were captured before we applied some of the stewarding time penalties that happened for week 2. So it did adjust the finishing order a bit, but this is a fairly accurate representation of where everybody stands for the most part in Group 1. It's just I think it shuffled a little bit where Miguel Torres is ahead of David Macedo, even though it shows them tied here in the screenshot. And Ken North, Eric Alvarez, Pedro up there in 4th, and Mike Wojciech, who returned week 2. You missed Wojciech's return. He was able to have a pretty solid race last week. Finished 3rd, I believe, so a podium on his first race back with us.
Well, that's a podium for Wojciech. He's slacking.
I'll tell you. I guess that shows the calorie. He also admitted he had taken some time off, since the last time he raced with us, and just kind of got back into it after the 1.9 update. But I think that's a solid solid way to return podium. And I'll throw up now our Group 2 standings. And for Group 2, we have Sean O'Brien leading. He's was able to go kind of uncontested last week. He got out quite a bit in front. Oscar Martinez, who was our race 1 winner in Group 2, he was out last week, and it looks like he is going to be out again this week. So that might give Sean another chance to run away with it. But there is Scott Taylor, DJ Young following right behind him in the championship. Also, if we look here at the quali for Group 2, we can see that Life and Scott Taylor right there in second and third in Group 2 for qualifying. So Sean has the pole for Group 2, but Life and Scott are right there, so we'll see if either of them are able to give him a challenge this race. For Group 1 on the podium, I don't think it's any surprise he had been just a force here. I think he's a force at every race, but especially this at Watkins, David Macedo has just been dominating in all the practice events this week with the times he's getting here.
Yeah, that's definitely a trend I've picked up on. Kind of surprised. Well, I shouldn't say surprised, but it's a pleasant surprise to see Jesse Albert up in second there.
Yeah, Jesse seems to be getting accustomed with the Ferrari. He believe that race 1 he started in, I think, the Lambo. That's what it was. Yeah, he started in the Lambo, and then he opted to reset his points and switch cars, and so starting week 2 went to the Ferrari and is continuing to learn this car and seems to be getting more potent with it.
Pulling a bit of a Verstappen there.
Yeah. Another one I'd love to highlight, qualified third in Group 1 is David Hicks. Strong qualifying performance from him, and anyone who was with us season 5, it wouldn't come as a shock to see him this high up, but he was driving the Aston that season, but he had placed third in the race. So season 5 we raced here, and David Hicks placed third in that race. So no shocker to see him up, and excited to see what he's able to do. Can he better his previous race here, or is he still managed to another podium finish? We will find out.
Yeah, it's kind of a drag because that I think that really good finish he was in the Aston when he got it. So
Yep, he was driving the Aston that season.
So
and I think
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, in practice, I think he mentioned too he's still faster in the Aston than this Ferrari for this track only. He said everywhere else Ferrari I'm faster, but this track I think he said he was still faster in the Aston.
Yeah, and that's something that we've decided to do this season, and I think this season only is due to the physics changes allowing a car change. As long as you forgo your points completely, you can swap cars, and it was cool to see someone still trying to rock one of the older cars, but the Ferrari is just too powerful.
Yeah, people really like the Ferrari. It is. I think it's very similar to when the BMW came out, the new the M4, and it was just a easy to drive car. It was fast, and when you get that kind of combination, a lot of people are interested in driving it. So new car, fast, and easy to drive. It's welcoming to a lot of people, so no shock.
Well, it'll be interesting to see a Haas livery on something that's not just unbelievably slow, coming from F1 here. So.
All right, getting too wide, ready for the start of the race. there is our green flag.
Looks like David got a pretty slow start there.
Let's rest the field. Did we all make it through turn 1? We did. And the bus stop, this is going to be one of the real first danger zones here. And oh, I think in the back. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think I just saw something happen back there.
we will go back. I think who was involved in that? It looks like I see some Calves. Let's go back and see.
I think I saw
Okay.
some green and white, so that might have been Life.
Yeah, I
That
think.
McLaren.
Okay, I think I saw Concalves, and I don't know if it was. Oh yeah, it was
Oh, yeah, yeah.
definitely Goncalves,
Nope.
and he
Yeah.
got into
Cobra, it looks
Cobra,
like.
yeah. Go back one more time. It looks like they just kind of I don't know if merged into each other or what here, but you can see from his view. Yeah, and just that high speed, even the little touch and it coming to the rear of the car just gets them both spun out. Thankfully, he's kind of that accident took him right through off track, right into the bus stop. I'm surprised no other cars got him in there, so that was good. No other, looks like no other secondary accidents from that one.
Yeah, that was almost too good to be true.
Yeah, considering.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't re-roll the dice on that. I'm sure it wouldn't always play out that well. And things still remain pretty tight at the front. Albert still within a second of Macedo. Hicks right behind him, although Macedo might be pulling. It might be deceptive on this time because from his view, we're not even. You're starting to kind of see him eke away from Albert, but the rest of the group all remains pretty tight here as we go into lap 2 now.
Yeah, the exit of this, even just a little bit of understeer, just right into the wall, and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, Wojciech all over the back of Ken North. He's going to get alongside in the bus stop. Is he going to make it stick? You don't want to carry too much speed through here. Yeah, he's able to get it stopped. He made the...
It looks like Ken may have sort of ceded that position, not really wanting to get too wide through the bus stop, just sort of let Wojciech have it.
Yeah, it's not a bad call, right? Even if you are able to hold your line, you don't know if the guy inside is going to just cream right into you, so...
Mm-hmm.
But Wojciech trying to work his way up through the field. He had, I think, was qualified 7th, so... Oh! We have our... Oh, jeez! Jeez! I don't know what happened.
No.
I saw Life on the track. Let's try to... I don't know if we can heli-cam. So he's Harris Beckman and Life. That's our 2nd and 3rd place for Group 2. I don't know if they even touched there or it's just Life on the outside and just loses...
Just got on the throttle a little bit too much coming through that corner and just lost it.
And what happened to Driveman? Because it looks
like...
It
looks like Driveman didn't see what was going on.
Yeah, let's see it from his view here. He's in a group of cars.
He was just trying to get around somebody.
Yeah, he's in... Oh, no! He gets pushed into it!
Oh, no!
Oh,
no.
Yeah, here I'm thinking he was just in a group of cars and couldn't see around the... around them for the incident, and he ended up actually getting bounced. I guess they someone reacting to the accident that was at Miller, maybe. Let's get in the heli.
Oh, yeah, I think
think
it was Evan. He's been involved in so many of these. I
Oh
don't doubt.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
blame him for being a little.
No. That's just unfortunate
Yeah.
there. And that was sad too, because Dryman had really good qualifying. Let's get back to the front here and check through. So, Group 1. Actually, Tillman is alongside O'Brien. Now, this is not for position because they're in different groups. So, O'Brien in first place for Group 2 right now, and Tillman is going by him. So, I'm sure that O'Brien does not want to risk anything. No sense in trying to battle Tillman if he has the same or slightly better pace. Doesn't want to slow himself down or risk his position there being in first for Group 2. So
Yeah, speaking of risks, I am surprised to see Kyle still in that NSX.
yeah, man, I admire. Whoa, Jesse. So we go back, getting a little bit squirrely there. But yeah, we gotta go back and talk about Tillman. Let's see what happened to Jesse here. Does he get
just a little
kiss,
bit of a punt.
kiss on the back, and I'm impressed Jesse's able to hold on to that there. I got to see this from riding on board with Jesse. You know what this is? This is all that work he had driving the NSX. He's now a better driver for riding at the edge of control at all times. Yeah,
This car went about 3 or 4 times through here, and he managed to.
That was all that.
That
was all that NSX driving last season. He's like, oh, this is how every lap felt in that car.
Yeah, exactly.
And then back to what we were saying with Kyle. Yeah, I'm surprised he did stay with the NSX. And Pedro gets on the brakes, looks like to avoid contact with Jesse, and that's going to let Wojciech kind of gets inside there. And is he going to make it stick? Let's go back. Yes, he does. And actually, Pedro's fallen back where he might be in within Ken's grasp. We'll go back and watch this from Wojciech's point of view. But it looks like Pedro hits the brakes. Wojciech just jumps inside. So, clean move and good reaction time.
Yeah, pretty good avoidance by Wojciech there. That could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been one pregnant Ferrari. Looks like a little bit of contact between Pedro and Ken there.
Yeah, I think. And we got Kober and Goncalves and Kober all up the back of him right now. Going into the start-finish straight, he gets a much better position in that last turn, and he's going to get by Goncalves. It looks like he's far enough in front that should stick. I don't expect him attacking back.
These guys are fighting with so much damage. I'm surprised they haven't pit yet.
Yeah, it looks like especially with Goncalves' car, he's got quite a bit looking at the front of his at least. And we've got Jesse off the track and a subsequent spin trying to get started again. Probably got spooked trying to hurry up and get going before these cars start coming. Let's see what happened to Jesse though. So Wojciech behind him. Does he just check too much curb? Yeah, gets that grass. And what we didn't see before, Wojciech.
Oh no.
Gets caught up in that, so I think Wojciech made it through. I think he's definitely going to lose some positions here, but I think he didn't get too wrecked out from this. Let's see. And he tries everything to avoid that. I mean, there's nothing more Wojciech could do there. He had slowed down and was trying to get as far left, and Jesse's car just kept carrying back on the track that way.
Yeah, the only way you could have avoided that was to go behind Jesse's car off the track, and that's in a death sentence in itself. So.
Well, we've had an exciting first 5 minutes to the race here. Let's try to go through the running order. Take a breather, maybe. So David Macedo for our Group 1, followed by David Hicks, 4 seconds behind him. Hicks followed closely by Doherty, and followed behind that is Pedro, who has Ken right behind him in 5th, and then Cerna following closely. Actually, this whole group here going back all the way to Maru. So Kumar, Wojciech, Whitesell, Maru, very, very all close. And one person's mistake might let all these guys by. So then for Group 2, O'Brien out in front, but he is not going uncontested this week. He has Harris Beckman right on the back of him, half second behind him. And then behind Harris Beckman in Group 2 is G-Dog. So Grimy Dog having a good race. Managed to avoid some of that chaos in the back of the pack during the second lap there. I think for now we'll stay on with Harris Beckman a little bit.
Yeah, it's good to see someone run on the Bentley. I mean, it might not be the rock steady on rails car it used to be, but it's still looking mighty competitive.
I know if Jon Snow is watching the broadcast right now, he's smiling, seeing somebody, continuing the Bentley legacy.
Yeah, it's another regular we've been missing this season, just due to scheduling conflicts and life in general. He's been struggling to make races, and it's always good to see John on track.
Oh yeah, we would love to hopefully see him show up for some of the races this season, but yeah, when it's life happens, right? And Harris Beckman looking like he wanted to try to get inside there, wasn't quite able to get up alongside of him enough.
Yeah, O'Brien just had just a minor little twitch coming out of that last corner, got on the grass and just lost a little bit of traction, and that let Cody catch pretty quick.
Yeah, and another one that's really close, Maru. Showing him back. There we go, back on him now, though. On the back of Whitesell. We were talking about this group earlier, that everybody's really close here. Oh, that's Scott Taylor letting a lap down. He probably might have pitted or something, so letting everybody through. And this is that uphill right we were talking about. Some of the guys during practice were losing it, spinning it there. The traction, you're a bit on edge trying to accelerate hard while going uphill and turning.
Yeah, you kind of almost have to treat it like you got an egg underneath your throttle there.
You do.
Trying really hard not to break it.
That's like your Mr. Miyagi training. I like that. Put the egg under your gas pedal.
No, don't. I mean, don't actually do that. It's going to smell horrible.
Without breaking.
It's going to smell horrible. Because you're going to break it, and there's no way you're getting egg out of your carpet.
Oh, he's on the back of Whitesell. They're going to go side by side. He's gonna back out. Give a
Yeah,
not worth
that's a
sticking.
smart
Oh!
move. Oh no!
Sometimes you do the right thing and it still just doesn't work out for you. Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
he catches the little too much inside there. We'll go back and ride on board. And yeah, just too much. The cars like to be on the curb, but not past that kind of halfway point where you see
Yeah.
the lower portion, but not the raised one.
Yeah, you hit that step in the curbing and these cars just freak out.
They do. Let's see how far that took Maru back. He's
Quite a
still
few places. I think he's like 3 or 4 places back now.
okay. Yeah, he's behind Harris Beckman, so he's back with that took him back to some of the Group 2 drivers here. And oh,
And Jesse again.
behind.
Oh no.
Is that Jesse?
That was Jesse again. He just got too much of that curb again.
Oh, gotta go back. Where is? Why don't I see Jesse on? Yeah, so that was. Jeez.
Yikes.
But Jesse's keeping on going. He'll make it back from some of this.
Yeah, I know that feeling though. Where you're just like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
And speaking of people with that feeling, Maru trying to regain the positions he had lost through that, taking a little too much of that inside turn one. Harris Beckman breaks loose. That's going to let Maru catch up. Now, again, these guys, Harris Beckman Group 2, Maru Group 1, so they're not fighting for position here. You expect Harris Beckman will just kind of let him through now that he's reached them.
Evans seems like he's doing pretty well, up in 16th.
Yeah, he's having a good race.
4th place for Group 2. That's pretty good.
And this is not for position, but our Group 2 race leader, O'Brien, has reached Kyle Tillman. He looks like he's debating trying to get by him at the bus stop. Oh, Kyle, too much of that inside maybe, and throws him off, but he's able to keep control. You know what, though? The contact that O'Brien just had with, who was it in the green? Was that Maru?
I think that's Maru.
Yeah. So that bumped him a little bit wide, and I think Harris Beckman was able to take the lead here. So yeah, they bump. Harris Beckman just holds that inside line, and that's going to take him into first place for Group 2. I know he's got to be loving that. That's got to be a great feeling.
I mean, the guy's done nothing but wreck motorcycles for the past month, so I mean, he's got to have something good coming to him. I'm sure he'll love me saying that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, where did he qualify? So he was 4th in Group 2 for quali, so that's great, moving all the way up into first early on. So sure, O'Brien seems to have good pace here. I don't think he's gonna let Harris Beckman just walk away with it now that he's in front, but
well, I mean, let's hope not. That wouldn't be much of a race.
And we were talking about Miller before, so let's go back to Miller. And Grimy getting sideways there, and Miller moves up another position. So we were saying doing pretty good running in 4th place for Group 2. That moved him up into 3rd place. He's got to be loving that.
Yeah, I can just hear him celebrating
Deserves
I
it.
can just hear it.
Some good for once happening for him. And yeah, just accelerates,
Yeesh.
breaks traction, and gets him into the wall. Now the good news for him is he only lost one place from that, and Driveman's back about probably 10 or so seconds, it looks like. So that will, yeah, so he's still far enough ahead where that didn't cost him too much with that little
And you
error.
gotta love the sound of that. God, I love the
Oh,
sound of that
yeah.
whistle.
And we just kind of poke around some of the close battles. Ken North, the battle for fourth right now. He is behind Pedro. Mike Wojciech is trying to recover after his last incident with Jesse, so he has now reached the back of Kumar. We got O'Brien on the back of Harris Beckman. And those are our closest battles. For the moment, we'll stay with Wojciech, who is on on the back of Kumar.
Now let's see what happens into T1. Okay, I was gonna say I don't think Wojciech would go for that, but did seem to carry a bit more speed out of there than
Oh,
Kumar.
but he is going to go for this one. Uphill, was able to, like you said, carried more speed through. But Kumar looks like he's got a little oomph here. Is he going to be able to get alongside before the braking? He is, but Wojciech's going to take the defensive position. And unless, oh, he does unload the suspension there, catching some air, but is able to keep it under control, so he will maintain that 7th place position taken from Kumar.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that was a bit risky. Taking the shallower line into the bus stop is always a bit tricky. But, I mean, it didn't kill him, so that's a plus.
That is. We'll check David at this point now running almost 7 seconds ahead. David Macedo. So we got two Davids. The David 1-2 combo. David Macedo up 7 seconds and counting. He is just so strong here. I don't think anyone's even going to be able to. So best lap so far, 144.8. I think he was into the 143s at time in practice even. For qualifying, he qualified with a 144.2. So yeah, so far Hicks best of 145.5. So that kind of shows you the difference of where David Macedo is versus the rest of the group, and you can kind of see why he's pulling away so much.
Like I said, I'm just happy to see the Haas logo on something that's not, in last place. That's a pretty smart livery he's got there.
Yeah, and Whitesell, so Wojciech got around Kumar. Whitesell has now found himself approaching Kumar.
Makes you wonder if Kumar's just maybe being a little bit hard on the tires, or if there's some pressure issues going on, or
Yeah, I don't know if I haven't talked to Kumar a lot like about the Lambo. We saw in the previous season Kumar's a fast driver. I mean, he's shown when he's in a car he's comfortable with, he can throw in some very competitive lap times and very very comfortable driving side by side with someone battling for position. So I don't know if it's so far the Lambo. I know we talked about, I think he missed Silverstone, so he wasn't at the Silverstone race. Brands, he admitted he hates Brands Hatch. So he pretty much wrote that race off, is that he was Nostradamus saying, I am gonna spin out. It happens to me every time I race at Brands. So now at Watkins, I don't know if it's the car, the track, or what, but like I said, we know he's a capable driver. So
Well, I mean, the Lambo does tend to be a bit pushy, so I wonder if it's a setup issue, maybe. Not having a car that just does what you want it to do, like having to wait off throttle to get the car to rotate can really kill your time.
well, and they nerfed the Lambo right before, like when 1.9 came out. Didn't they do a change to it right before, like right after 1.9?
I think at certain tracks, yes. I think they made the Lambo a little bit heavier, maybe.
Okay.
And the Ferrari a little bit lighter, but that was at certain tracks.
Okay.
I don't know if Watkins is one of them.
Yeah, I remember when 1.9 first came out. Ken stayed with it, but I remember Jesse and Ken were both really, really competitive in the Lambo. Ken still is, but Ken manages to somehow always be competitive. You could put Ken in a freaking Toyota Prius, and he'd somehow find a way to be competitive. He's just always there.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I think it did knock him back a touch. Did Mike make it past Cerna? No. Okay, yeah, he's 5 seconds back. All right. So that's who he's trying to work his way up to, is Cerna, who's about 5 seconds up. We'll have to watch and see if he's able to start to gain any ground on him.
Well, and fingers crossed, Cerna looks like he's doing pretty good this race too. I mean,
He is.
if you watched any of last season's races, you would know that Cerna struggled with the NSX. Like, that was rough watching some of the stuff Max was having to go through there. And looks like that final corner struck the Ferrari once again.
Yeah, got that tire in the dirt and it sent it up in the air. Yeah. Yeah, and that suspension unloads.
Yikes.
Yeah, and it looks like, I think he's gonna park it and retire, possibly from. Yeah, he's gonna retire from the race at that point. It's like he's feeling some frustration with the car this week. Oh
Man,
no!
what happened?
I just went back. Harris Beckman, is he still? No, he's not. O'Brien's ahead, so something happened. Oh yeah. Let's see what happened to Harris Beckman. So Harris Beckman, and he actually was starting to pull away from O'Brien. So Harris Beckman looks like had some really good pace.
I wonder if it's that last corner. Oh no, it's right here. He just gets a little bit too hard on the brakes coming in, and whoa, that was close.
Yeah, Tillman almost catches him too.
That was close. O'Brien drives by and can smell his exhaust.
Yeah, maybe just a little too much rear brake bias or a little too much trail braking there, and under braking there, the back comes around on him. Well, he's able to rejoin without.
Good move not backing up across the track there. That was
agreed. Even in the moments of frustration, able to keep cool thinking. Oh, and Driveman looks like he got by Grimy. Let's go back and catch what happened here. Side by
Using that-
side, coming to the bus stop.
Using that famous Lexus pull.
Yeah. And Grimy says, no, you just go ahead and have that. I'm not going to. He takes it nice and easy through the bus stop. It does not try to do anything crazy to chance it. And smart move by him too, because right now these guys are within podium reach for Group 2. Drive in about showing 5.5 seconds from Evan Miller, who's third place right now for Group 2. So these guys are just a bad pit stop or something away from being able to be in a podium finish at Group 2 to get past Evan. So
Yeah, and so that's the thing about the little bit I do know about Watkins is it's really rough on your left-hand tires. Almost all of the high-speed sweepers are right-handers. So you get to pushing and you start cooking those outside tires, and with the new update, that's what really causes your tire deg. So it'll be interesting to see what starts happening to some of these guys that are all caution to the wind, just trying their damnedest to catch people. See what their tires do. Oh, and did we miss something with Max?
we did. It looks like Max just got kind of funky there through the bus stop and had to let off throttle and get back rejoin safely, but that lets Ken North through. Cerna still having a great race though. Was able to keep it. We've seen a lot worse incident, a lot worse things happen through the bus stop.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're sort of in unexplored territory right now with Max because he's been going this entire time and has not had the car try to kill him yet. So that's
yeah.
I think that might be new territory for him as well. And it looks like we got Marlowe pitting. Oh, he's got a drive through. I didn't even realize
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was just looking at. I'm not sure what happened. If we're at the 24-minute mark, so we're gonna start seeing guys go into the pits. I don't know if he pitted and got a drive through from speeding in the pits or something the previous lap. That's what I'm gonna assume happened, but that is unfortunate to see. We'll check in with Life here. He had a strong quali for Group 2, but just it hasn't been working out for him in the race itself. Currently running 7th in Group 2. Yeah, you can hear the Lexus up there in front. Even when you're following Grimy on cam, you can still hear that Lexus. Oh, and it looks like Life a little bit off track there as well.
Yeah, it looks like we had another issue there.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little bit too much brake bias.
Yep.
Yeah, I do know that Life's been really suffering with that McLaren. It took a pretty big hit with 1.9. Just about everybody who was racing that thing jumped ship, but he is nothing if not stubborn. I talked to him. He said, "I'm not jumping on one of the new cars. I'm not going to do it." So
Good for him. And
Yeah.
like you said, I mean, he was making excellent progress as a driver last season. So we know what he's capable of, and you are at the mercy of the game when they change car physics and car BOPs and stuff. To sometimes it just the same car won't resonate with you the same way after the changes. You know nothing about that, Jay.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
No clue.
No clue, no clue, no clue. Meanwhile, everyone's like, Mike, don't get him talking about it.
Alright, so battle for second still here. Hicks and Darty have been close, I think, since the start of the race. Darty continuing to stay close, but doesn't seem to be challenging them. And I think at this point, as fast as David is here, he's happy to even be close to him.
Well, in the position that Mike's in, I mean, really, you don't want to challenge the guy in front of you. You want to see if he does something that lets you.
Whoa! And
that lets you pass.
Life made another appearance. Let's see.
A cameo.
What? Yeah. Oh, what happens here? So these guys. I mean, this is crazy. They just each took a side. Like, look at this. They just completely shoot around, and then their battle resumes. That is, man, talk about best case scenario for an accident avoidance. And good job, credit to Life, man, because that's one of those instances where if he would have hit the gas, or in first or reverse, he would be one of those two guys would have been taken out. So credit to Life for just holding the brakes and making the drivers respect the yellow flag.
Well, and so that little incident right there just sort of highlights what I'm talking about. Is you don't necessarily have to be faster than the guy in front. You just have to be luckier.
Mm-hmm.
So Hicks, just a split second too late to react to that. That would have been second place for Doherty.
So true. It's always interesting seeing guys too, same car but different driving styles. You see Darty catch him in the braking zone, but Hicks has the better exit, but then Darty, just because he's in the draft, looks like he's able to start reeling him in on the straight.
And you know what? This V6 is really kind of growing on me. It sounds so much better than the 488.
Blasphemy.
I could not. I could not listen to that 488, man. That was.
I love it, but we've talked about. I know you're feeling the marbles in a jar.
Yeah, dude. I drove that thing for a season, and by the end of it, I was so sick of hearing that vacuum cleaner suck up those marbles. It was. it was rough.
Oh, God.
I mean, if I had my way, they'd all be V8s or V12s.
There you go.
That's just the way I think about it. But it's just crazy that even F1 are V6s these days.
Yeah, that is wild.
I wish I had one of those V6s in my Chevy. That'd be nice.
Yeah, no kid. Oh, and Marlowe, I see in the dirt. What happened to? It's just self-inflicted. Yeah, going up. So we talked about this being a potential danger, this race, and yeah, same thing. Like we saw Life spun out here, and Marlowe just losing it going up the hill.
Yeah.
The back really likes to fight traction. We talked about it, Jay's training tip of putting the egg under the gas pedal. It just goes to show you, it doesn't look like an intimidating turn, but much more challenging than it looks.
Well, and it's much more challenging now than it was, because these cars are so much more prone to losing traction. as of 1.9. If you're really not careful about it, you'll lose traction in places that you never used to on throttle.
Oh, and
So
Tillman. Okay, it looks like Maru's gonna go pit. So I was questioning Maru's line through that turn, but now that makes much more sense. So Maru going into the pits. We'll have to see after Tillman pits later if he's gonna come out ahead of Maru or behind. With,
well, it looks like Maru's
got.
got some damage he needs fixed. So you can tell that hood
Yeah.
flapping around and.
Good point. Good point. And we're at the 31-minute mark. So pits close at about 9 minutes. We should keep continuing to see more of the field come through. We won't see this guy pit at least another 8 minutes, but our race leader David Macedo now extended that lead up to 13 seconds. And you know what? Let's do. You want to do a little ride on? You want
Yeah,
do
sure.
a track walkthrough? Put you on the spot.
Yeah. Oh, don't put me on the spot. All right, so you want to try to come in as close to this first apex as possible. Hold it a little bit and cut left. Try to hold that one. Come out as close to this wall as you dare. And try to ride the left-hand side of this. So I think about the 300-meter board, maybe a little bit later, maybe 200. You want to brake hard, down a gear, maybe 2 through here. And then just sort of off throttle and let the car come in. Get back on throttle as soon as you possibly can and ride all the way out. And it's going to be a pretty hard brake down around through here. Get on the throttle as soon as you feel you can. Ride it as hard out as you can. And you can get on the brakes way late here, about the 100-meter board. And it's the same thing, just off the throttle, let the car come in. Sort of baby that throttle on the way out. And keep to the left. And I think about the 200, 150, want to brake. And ride it all the way out. And this last sign here on your right, you want to dive in toward the apex there. And this is another corner you want to kind of pretend there's an egg under your throttle. Off the gas just for a second, get it in, and then back on. And you want to maybe down a gear, yep. Hit the apex, come out as far as you possibly can, and then cross the line.
And Macedo just makes it look so easy here. Almost effortless, but it is a lot more challenging than he makes it look.
Yeah, it helps having a car that does what you want it to do. I mean, this is every track is a pain in the ass if you're driving a car that just won't turn.
Or a car.
But this track especially, with like a lot of the off throttle, wait for the car to come in type corners.
Yes. Yes.
If your car is understeering, it's never going to come in. So you're traveling 10 miles an hour and still not make the corner.
So true. Yeah, very important to have the car doing what you want.
Mike using absolutely every inch. Oh, did I just see Marlowe turned around at the entrance?
Oh no!
I did. Okay.
What happens to Marlowe?
I think he just gets loose coming out of this corner, and that's where he ends up.
So it was not trying to, I was gonna say, it was not serving another drive-through. And this just goes on to what you were saying about the, after the latest update and the cars on throttle having to, be easier with it. Yeah, and he's doing the right, patient, and, oh! Goncalves, I think, was that going into the pit, so he's able to Yeah, that was. He was able to move out the way just in time to let him through. And gets
Yeah,
turned
Marlowe
around.
having to do some
That's
Tetris there, trying to
that is rough.
get out of the way and still, not get into the track. And I mean, congrats. I'm glad to see that it worked out. I mean, it sucks that that's what happened, but
Yeah, I think Marlowe just having one of these races where you just the car's not working for you and just struggling to have anything kind of go right. So you just want to move on to the next week.
yeah, I think Limp Bizkit wrote a song about that.
About Watkins Glen?
It's just one of those
days. Yeah.
I don't think Limp Bizkit's been talked about unironically in about 20 years.
Yeah, I think the dude's got like a podcast now or something.
Who doesn't?
Well, yeah.
I mean, who doesn't?
When do we start our CSRL podcast, Jack?
Yeah, right.
As if we have extra time.
As if I have anything to say anyone wants to hear.
Well, that even more so. I don't.
But now that you say it, it would be nice to have, bring people on, talk about the last race.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Damn you. Don't worry, there's not enough time. I can make up any good idea, and I don't have enough time to execute it. So you would be happy to do that one. Now you could have the J podcast. Okay.
Oh, no. We won't do that.
But it would be fun. I'd love to hear from the drivers.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear my stream of
White Cell takes a very, very liberal use of the track there.
Yeah, in air quotes, track.
He said they put pavement there for a reason.
I'm gonna use it, Dan.
And I'm gonna use it. And I haven't got my I haven't used all my track penalties yet.
Speaking of that, looks like we do have another drive.
Oh jeez, the commentator's curse, but on somebody else.
I'm sure that's been up there for a while and we just haven't noticed it yet.
Okay.
I swear, we are good at this job.
And Cerna next to Tillman. Getting to the bus stop where we talked about. Oh my God! And Cerna's dead. And Cerna. Oh my God! Yeah, he's just. Oh, this is why we like to sim race, and no, we would not have him with us anymore after this one. Good God!
Yeah. That was a perfect example of the shallow line into the bus stop not being a good thing.
Yeah. Oh. You know what? If anything, maybe he did that on purpose to not take out Tillman. I don't know, but I don't know if he just jumped to pointed left to try to not come across on him. I don't know, but good God, it's.
He missed his braking marker too. He was about 50 meters too.
That was insane.
Too late on that.
I don't know if we have. I know he probably does not want to keep seeing this, but
that's fine.
This is the most epic, I think, accident of season 7 so far, because the force of, oh my God,
yikes!
I mean, whew. Yeah, it is unfortunate. We were talking about Cerna having such a good race and avoiding having those kind of incidents, and it one, a few snuck up on that last one.
Well, so it's an improvement because the car didn't try to kill him. He did it himself.
That, yeah, in all fairness, that it was. You get in the heat of the moment though, and you're battling. It happens to me too. You don't quite realize I didn't brake where I really needed to brake because you're taking a different line through the turn, and
yeah, it's the whole tunnel vision thing. It's you're so preoccupied with making sure that you brake later than the guy next to you that you don't realize you're on the inside and you have to brake earlier than the guy next to you. It's just one of those things.
It's the bus stop, man. It's killing everybody. And there
Oh,
goes
there
Darty
goes-
on a really.
oh,
that is not
oh,
the line
oh,
through the bus stop. He is
oh.
still going. He is still trying.
Oh,
no!
oh.
Stop! Whoa! Oh, and who was that going by? It
That was
was
Pedro.
Pedro? Oh my God!
We almost had a reverse replay, or no, we almost had an exact replay of last race.
So right on board with Pedro, and he's probably like, "What the hell are you doing, Mike?" Oh, yeah, that would have been a replay of last race because Pedro caught Mike at the Mike was spun around at Brands and sitting on the track, and Pedro made contact. So yeah, Darty goes super wide, tries to save it, but then the suspension unloads. We've seen where that part of the track will throw you. We've seen that all race, and just yeah, jeez. Well, I'm very relieved to see he did not take out Pedro because Pedro's having a great race.
I mean that went places. That was a journey in and of itself.
No kidding.
3-act play in less than 10 seconds.
Oh my God. Good thing you ran extra fuel, you know. Yeah, so this brings this makes Pedro P3 Pedro. He activates his superpowers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Man, I feel like this is a good
ninja
race.
grip or punching action, or what's his special power?
Shit talking.
Oh well,
yeah.
He doesn't need any place to. That's just on by default.
Well, it just goes to the next level. It's like, you know. It's like Superman can jump without his superpowers, but when he activates his superpowers, then he can really fly. You know.
Well, all I can say is I'm sorry to hear.
Happy to see Pedro having a good race, man. He is doing well. So we'll check through the field. David Macedo, there we go. Now we see David Macedo, no surprise, continuing to kill it. I think he's showing 40 some. What is it? Seconds ahead of David Hicks. He's way up there though. Oh wait. Because he pitted, I guess. So it doesn't seem like he's as far ahead as he's been, but I don't know if it's the timer. 10 seconds doesn't seem far enough ahead. I feel like
I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah. I don't know if we missed something that happened to David, or if he maybe took a little nap in the pits when he did his pit stop and...
Yeah, that is interesting.
Caught some Z's and then came back out. I don't know. Or maybe it is 10, but I swore it was higher. But regardless, he's killing it. No real threat with Hicks being 10 seconds back. And Pedro 7 seconds back from Hicks. We'll have to see if he can close this gap at all. And maybe try to become P2 Pedro. We shall see. Oh, and Maru got by Driveman there. Now, it's not for position, but a little bit before I was showing Maru behind Driveman, so he was able to get around him. Maru at this point just trying to stay and make sure he stays in front of Kober, who is about 6 seconds behind him.
Yeah, so he's having quite the comeback.
Oh, you're right. I did not even notice that he has worked his way up into 3rd place for Group 2. So after the pit stop shuffle, maybe Driveman, I see some scrapes on his car. Maybe he went without repairs while others did get some repairs, and that let him get out in front.
Could be, or I mean, depending on what time it is, maybe he hasn't pit yet.
So we're at the 42-minute mark. So everyone, if you didn't pit, you're going to be in trouble. So he should have pitted by now.
So that means he is net 3rd. So that's quite the comeback from the incident he was involved in earlier.
Yeah, and I don't remember. I think when we were talking, I think we said he was running 7th, 8th, or something in Group 2. So, yeah, I want to say he's up like 5 positions from where he was before.
I mean, Hicks is catching it a pretty big clip here.
And
Yeah.
Kober is going to get through. So he lets Kober through, because again, that's not for position. He does not want to risk anything for driveman. Oh no, that wasn't Kober.
That was Hicks.
Hicks,
That
he
was
let through.
85.
I am sorry. You even said it, and I was just agreeing with you and not listening. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, Kober's still over a second and a half behind driving, but it does look like he's slowly pulling him in. And again, for Kober, his goal is to try to get by, and he's up to Driveman now. Try to get by Driveman so he can start trying to reach Maru. Yeah, Driveman says, I'm not taking any risks. Go right ahead. I got my 3rd place going on right now. I ain't letting anyone ruin it. Yeah, so Miller is back 24 seconds from Driveman. So, man, Driveman's got a solid shot at getting 3rd here. Very good to see him getting a good race put together. Love it.
Yes, it is.
And great to see Evan, too, because Evan's sitting in 4th right now. Is having a wonderful race. He's probably not able to relax too much, though, because he's got Grimy within a second and a half. And we're at the 45-minute mark, so these guys about 15 minutes to try to get in front of the guy ahead of them. And G-Dog showing now at just a half second behind Miller. We'll stay on board with them. Looks like he's making some headway to get to Evan.
Yeah, this is also a new experience for Evan. The last few seasons have seen Evan have some pretty horrific stuff happen to him. Not of his own making.
Yeah.
So it's always good to see Evan having a decent race.
It is. If this was any other season, like with the way Cerna hit the wall, the wall would have been Evan, like in any other season. Like
either that or somehow Cerna hitting that wall would have made a physics object come unlodged somewhere else in the map, and it would be in the middle of the track, and Evan would have hit it. You know, just one of those things where it's like
just caught the bad end of the.
Yeah, every single race was like Final Destination.
It was. Ooh, and Grimy pulls quite a bit there. It's gonna get him closer to the bumper of Evan Miller. Yeah, just inching in. Evan's got to be feeling the pressure. Again, knowing that there's still like 12 minutes left in the race. And we've also got Goncalves coming up too behind them. I imagine he's a Group 1 driver, so probably has better pace than these guys, but given how far back, you might see him just kind of sit and wait it out. I don't know if he's going to even try to get by them.
Yeah, and he had some pretty nasty damage from the first laps of the race. So I wonder if he bothered fixing it, or
it looks like it from we can kind of see in sort of the camera. I don't see the cracks and scuffed paint on the front. Here we go. Here will be a good view. You can see it looks like he did get it repaired. Yeah, I know. I know Grimey's gotta hate this too, having him come up on them.
Yeah, trying to pass somebody while also trying to defend is
Yeah.
it's tough.
Well, and I know, if Grimey could pause time, he would just say, uh, put the other guy, because it makes no difference on the position. If Concalves gets by them, it does not impact either of their race position. But if Concalves tries to get through them and either one catches a little bump, it could, be the end of either of their race. So you hate
I
this
mean,
when you're.
yeah, it would be smart of them just to let him go, but
He's so close to Evan, though. It's so hard because
right,
it
it's
could
one
be
of
his
those.
one opportunity to get by that he tries to let him through. So it's a really tough situation here, and
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, we don't. If you're not getting blue flagged, we don't require you get out of the way of anybody.
nope, you don't.
So,
Yeah, in this
um,
instance, Gongalves has to attack to get by them, but
yeah,
at the
got to be
same
the one to
time,
find a way safely.
yeah,
But I mean,
you just don't want to ruin these two guys' race either, especially if you're not feeling that you're super. So Grimy, it looks like, is he gonna let him by? Or is he gonna take defensive? Yeah, he's gonna take defensive through here. So I can't blame Grimy one bit. This is a poor position.
well, and I mean that it's one of those things where Grimy might not have his HUD on. He might not know that
Oh, he's
the
gonna
guy
go
behind him
wide. I
is.
think he's gonna let him go through now. At this point, he did shoot wide. So now all Grimy's hoping for is that he gets pulled back in. And
Yeah, so that would have been my strategy the whole time, is just sort of let the guy go in front and then
yep.
just follow him.
Now that's the thing. So this is an interesting dilemma, right? Because it's not we don't allow you to follow a blue flagged car through. So if Goncalves was a lap ahead, getting past these guys under a blue flag, we would not allow Grimy to follow him through. However, he's not under a blue flag, so Evan has no requirement to let him through. So every bit, Grimy could follow Concalves through if Concalves has the better speed. So
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be interesting. This is the first season we've had the multi-class, so we haven't had scenarios like this. So it looks like Evan is going to
I think
let
Evan
him
might have just
through.
let him go.
He did. And it looks like Grimy even let off there, not to try to take advantage of that. I heard his car at the bottom of the hill, so I think Grimy, just trying to do the right sportsman thing, lets off.
And I think those blue flags are because the car in front of Evan is technically a lap down from these guys. So he's
Yeah.
fighting to unlap himself. That's why you're seeing those blue flags. It's not because of these two. He's got the pace to get by, so we don't.
Oh, so Gongalves is not. Wait, now I'm confused.
I think.
Oh,
I
the blue
think he's a
flag.
lap.
Yeah, the blue flag is
Yeah.
is because I get you. Yep, I follow you now. I follow you.
Yeah, so it's not for Evan or Grimy. It was for number 24 there. I'm not even gonna.
It was
I'm
for
not even going to put
Gongalves.
him.
Yeah. It was for
Yeah.
Gongalves because he was. Yeah, it looked like he was behind them on the same lap, but he wasn't. He's the guy at lap
He's
down.
3 laps down.
Yeah. He's 3 laps down exactly.
And then Jesse, sort of coming up on the back of these guys. Another guy
They're
who's
not
had
going to be thrilled at that
a
either.
rough race for Jesse here, trying to claw some real estate back. I mean, not to be a Debbie Downer, but I think Jesse's only hope of of not being the bracket on the end of Group 1 is for some DNFs.
Well,
He's pretty
yeah,
pretty squarely behind at this point.
he is 10 seconds behind Taylor and Goncalves. So I think he's plus 3 laps too. So I think he's on the same lap as Goncalves, but he's back. So I don't think we got 7 minutes left in the race. Don't think he'll be pulling them in.
I mean, if he does, I mean, that more power to him. I mean, we may have to look at that because that might be something fishy going on there.
Check back through. So David Macedo still solidly holding that first place. 18 seconds behind is David Hicks. So Macedo definitely pulling away from that 10-second lead now. To
nice shot of both leaders there, though.
Yeah, that is. So yeah, we can see Macedo, and then behind him is O'Brien leading for Group 2. So our Group 1 and Group 2 drivers. That'll be the screenshot for the thumbnail. These guys can keep this. Neither of them blow their race. Pedro and Doherty, looks like he's somewhat closed in the gap of Pedro, but he's still 3 seconds back. We only got 5 minutes left in the race. I don't think he's going to be being able to challenge Pedro too much. And we got Ken North in 5th, Zach Whitesell in 6th place, and Kumar in 7th. So for our Group 2, we talked about O'Brien. 5 seconds ahead of Harris Beckman. Does not, 5 seconds with 5 minutes left. I think he's first place is out of reach for Harris Beckman, but a second place finish should feel pretty good. I'd be proud of that.
Yeah,
Group
definitely.
2. And behind him, third place, Group 2, holding it down, Nick Driveman.
We have to start calling him the comeback kid.
Man, it's been a long time in the making to have a solid finish for Nick, and I'm expecting good things from Nick this season, man. I told you when I had raced with him before the start of the season after he got his new equipment, and he was and Nick gets hit by, I think that was Kober.
Yeah, I think it was.
And Nick trying to get going. I don't know what exactly. No, that was not Cobra. So sorry to.
Oh, that was. Who was that then? Whitesell?
Whitesell. Yeah. I was trying to figure out who else was in the colors of those cars. Yeah. So we'll go back into passenger. So Nick goes a touch wide. Whitesell carries a lot more speed through. Final turn. Yeah, he just looks like he didn't
expect Nick to brake so early or something.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunate for Nick. Let's see. And the worst part is, and Nick's doing the right thing, letting everybody pass, making sure he doesn't interrupt anyone's race. Oh, poor Nick. He is still showing, though. He was at least 23 seconds right now. I think when it updates, Grimey's going to be closer.
Yeah, I think you can hear Grimey.
Hopefully that gap. Okay, so that's down to 10 seconds. So 14 seconds gained on him. I'm sure Driveman might have suffered some damage, but 14 down 10 seconds now. So 10 seconds ahead. We got maybe maybe 2 more laps to go. Yeah, hopefully he can still do this. We'll have to watch. And Darty showing 1.5 seconds back of Pedro, so he has managed to somewhat reel him in. He was 3 before.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Pedro's a bit more comfortable with the car. That race at Silverstone was hell for Pedro.
And nice and smooth through there. Definitely don't want to throw it away going through the bus stop here with the last couple of laps. And who is Pedro coming up on?
That looks like
Is it Kober?
it might be
Yeah,
it's
Kober. So, oh, we have a lot of dirt kicked up there. Is that going to let that? I'm just going to let Darty get. It is almost alongside, but he is. Yeah, he's managed to get alongside of him after that. It's going to go on the outside here, which is just a really long way around this turn. That's probably not going to. Yeah, that costed him position versus gaining him any.
Yeah, Pedro did a good job on the defense there. Gave Mike the inside and let him think he was going to get through when it was really the long way around. I wonder where he learned that.
I hate that person forever teaching. Pedro got too damn good at it. Yeah, Pedro. Jesse's another really good defensive driver. There's quite a few really good defensive drivers in the league that you just don't ever want to be behind. If you have better pace, there's some guys that will that know how to make the best of their car. Oh, and Doherty gains a lot of ground through the bus stop. I think he's probably willing to roll the dice a little more than Pedro through there. Especially with this being the final lap. He's going to have to hope to catch him some maybe on this uphill section. See if he tries. Yeah, he gets behind him. If he can get a better exit here, there is a chance of getting the run down here. Pedro going to go defensive, takes the inside, going to force Mike on the outside here. Mike tries to use as much outside, takes some grass. That might have costed him. That might have costed him any chance of.
Yeah, it looks like Pedro got a little squirrely under braking there, and Mike just.
Oh yeah. Or Mike late braked.
Lost confidence there at the end, thinking that Pedro might have come in on him.
Yeah, I think Pedro, knowing he had the inside, was going to go super defensive, just went to slow early, and Mike didn't have enough track to try to brake alongside of him. So that's going to do it. Pedro is going to P3 Pedro it with some nice final lap defensive driving. He's able to retain third place that he took from Mike earlier in the race when Mike had spun out. So excellent job by Pedro. Ken North going to cross here. 5th place. Zach Weissel coming in on 6th. Kumar able to keep things going and manage a solid 7th place finish is our top 7 here for Group 1. O'Brien 1st place, Harris Beckman with the 2nd place, and Nick. It showed. Did Nick get? So Nick.
No, Nick ran out of gas. Oh, Nick. Oh, Nick.
Oh.
Oh, Nick.
He had it.
Oh,
Oh.
Nick.
So there goes Grimy. So wow. Deflating. Nick had. I mean, you can't take it back. I mean, it's not going to reflect on the points, but Nick definitely had third that race outside of the gas. That's unfortunate, but he's got to feel good, like he's made an improvement in that car and can hopefully come back with that kind of driving next race. That is going to let Grimy, though, finish on the podium. So Grimy will take that third place spot from Driveman. All right, well, that does it for this race. Congrats to our drivers. Thanks for giving us an exciting race to watch this week. That was one of the best of the season, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm so absolutely gutted for Nick. That just
Yeah, yeah.
oh
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. I'll tell you what. Do you want to pick driver of the day? You want Group 1 or Group 2? I will give you the choice. You can pick which group you want to do driver of the day through for.
well, so I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. I think I'm gonna pick Group 2, but I'm gonna end up giving a split driver of the day here, and it's gonna be between Evan and Nick.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
mean, Nick did an amazing job coming back from those opening laps. Evan had a great race. I mean, for whatever reason, uh, the gods seem to be smiling on him this race instead of the usual just horrible torture they put him through. So yeah, man, it's going to be hard for me to pick between the two, but I mean, Evan did finish the race, so I think I'm going to have to go with Evan for my final pick, but Nick was definitely up there.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's tough for Group 2, right? Even Grimy in there as well had a great race. So yeah, that's I think any of those three is a valid choice for this one. Well, I will default to Group 1. I think Pedro managing to hold it, that podium finish. Congrats to David, both the Davids, right? David Macedo and David Hicks, 1 and 2, both came out and just did an excellent job in dominating today. But Pedro giving us uh, that last lap battle, keeping Doherty off the podium and keeping it for himself. I thought that was some good driving and some exciting action to watch. So I'll give my driver of the day to Pedro.
Good choice.
All right, well, I will flash up on the screen here our season standings as they end for race 3. Now, we have not had the penalties calculated yet for this week or posted, so some of this is subject to change. But for Group 1, we have David Macedo leading with 76 points, Ken North in second, 65 points, and P3 Pedro, third place now in the championship, 53 points. So those are our top 3 for Group 1. And for Group 2, Sean O'Brien as 85 points, so strong front runner here in Group 2. DJ Young, our second place driver in Group 2, 63 points, followed by Scott Taylor, 59 points, and just outside of that, Evan Miller and Nick Dryman, 53 points and 43 points respectively. So lots of close racing here in Group 2. Again, it's only going to be the best 7 of 8 races that count towards your totals. So we'll see where these guys end up, but just kind of give us an idea where everyone's standing for the season.
Yeah, and just a reminder, we should have a link to the Discord in the description here. But if you decide you want to jump in here and have some fun, the season is open till late registrants. We just require you go through a small placement event, just so we know where to stick you. And I don't know. Do you have anything else to add there, Mike?
Yeah, no, definitely. If anyone on the fence looking to join a league and interested in racing Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, yeah, definitely sign up. Like Jay said, you can do an eval race, and we'll place you in one of the groups, and even at least get settled in and enjoy the rest of season 7, and then you can be fully up and ready for the start of season 8 when that begins. So yeah, please join us if you're not racing with us already. Definitely have some spots available. I have nothing else. I don't even know where we're going next week. Let's
Laguna.
Ooh, Laguna. Yeah. So it'd be like the American Brands Hatch, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So that'll be it should be fun. That's definitely be one of those tracks that you kind of sit back and wait for the guy in front to make a mistake. Don't quite expect we'll see as much side-by-side action as we saw this week, but there should be plenty of excitement at Laguna.
Yeah, definitely not a track that favors side-by-side action, but
Nope.
we'll see.
We will see some off tracks and some accidents there, so some incidents. But cool, man. Well, we'll see you back for that race next week. Everybody, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you at Laguna.
Bye-bye.